Sawadee everyone, greeting from Luang Prabang. So in today's video, I have decided to invite my friend Chris to share his experience about a life living in Luang Prabang as an expat. And Chris has been living here for 4 years, I think. And since I got quite a lot of messages through Messenger and Instagram regarding to the life expat living in Luang Prabang, how expensive, how cheap, how easy it is, the pros and cons of living in this town. So today I decided to reach my friend and share us some of his personal experience. So let's do it.
Hello everyone, I'm Chris and I'm from Germany. I've been here in Laos for about 4 years now. I actually got stuck here during the pandemic and Laos was kind enough to give me a home, give me shelter and food at that time. So this is why I decided to stay and not to return back home to Germany. I came to this country on a bicycle, I attempted to cycle around the world and then, the big thing happened, known as COVID. And, I got stuck here and then I thought I'll be here for 2, maybe 3 months and then keep on with my travels. Well, these 2-3 months turned into over 3 years, like on and off, sometimes traveling, sometimes home, but more or less 3 years now.
What are the things that you like and things that you do not like about Luang Prabang?
So I'm living in the countryside. It's beautiful countryside, beautiful landscapes, the scenery. Just like I wake up in the morning, look outside of the window, look down on a river with a mountain range behind, and it's just incredible, beautiful, I like the food here. It's a simple food, but it's very good food. It's usually fresh food, which this is something I really like. It's just like you go to the markets and whatever is sitting there, it's like fresh vegetables, fresh meats, and and it's nice. It feels like even though you don't even try, you can kind of feel you're eating healthy. That's super nice.
I agree with that. Yeah, a lot of fresh fruit at the fresh markets in town.
Yeah, life is fairly slow here, it's not like fast-paced, not hectic like where I'm from or like Western world in general. So this is good, it feels healthy in a way, you don't really feel stressed out, and if it's stress, then it's stress I make myself. Life is easy and slow here, but easy and slow can be also challenging.
Yeah.
Just like where I'm from, if I'm asking someone for something, I know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So here I know it might happen, and when it happens, it takes lots of time, and it takes lots of phone calls, for instance. It's just like, let's make a simple example. Let's say I need to take the train tomorrow morning, going to Vientiane. So I'm living in the countryside. So what I would do is like, I would call a tuk-tuk driver the day before and say, hey, can you pick me up at my house tomorrow morning at, let's say, 8 a.m. and bring me to the train station. The driver will tell me, yes, I will be there. But the majority of time, I can guarantee you, he won't be there. So, but you have to catch your train.
Yeah.
So you will stress out a bit, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
it's so unpredictable in that sense. I agree with you. As a local person myself, it becomes a thing that we have to live with it and get used to it because nothing is guaranteed here. It's just people are too relaxed. It sometimes can be stressful.
It's just part of the mentality of many people here. Not all, but many.
Yeah.
And this is something you need to learn to handle. Like otherwise it can drive you crazy. So that's why I'm always saying you have to learn to accept it. Doesn't mean you have to respect it, but you have to learn to accept it.
To make your life easier, to go with it. What about the cost of living and things like? Do you find that Laos in general or Luang Prabang is affordable compared to other neighboring countries like Thailand, Cambodia, or Vietnam?
I think the prices in this region are quite similar.
Yeah.
I've just been to Thailand and Cambodia last year, and I think the prices are quite similar. Like But there I've been as a tourist. Here I'm more as a,
Okay.
you know, here I'm living, you know. Here I know my ways around to also to keep my costs low.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's also a huge difference. If you look at it from the kip perspective,
Yeah.
yeah, inflation is crazy. Back then I got for $1 10,000 kip.
Yeah.
Now for $1, the official rate is like 21, 22,000 kip.
Yep.
On the black market, you get even 23 to 24.
Exactly.
Looking at it from a dollar perspective,
Yeah.
let's say you are working for an international company, or maybe you are working remotely for a company somewhere abroad, and you get paid in dollars or euros, you know, like a stronger currency. Then the prices are pretty much the same.
Yeah.
I also work remotely for a German business consultancy firm. So coming back to the money, for me it's fairly easy.
You're comfortable.
Exactly. But I also run a co-working space in town. It's the only, first and only co-working space in Luang Prabang. Maybe the fourth co-working space in all of Laos. As I know, there are 3 others in Vientiane, in the capital, and I'm the only one here in Luang Prabang. I just opened in October last year, so like 5 months ago.
So how is it going so far?
It's good. I'm happy. So I opened it together with my girlfriend. We're happy that it's going okay. You know, it's just we are still in the beginning. We are young business, and it will need time to grow. But yeah, no, it's nice to actually to create this place for like a community for digital workers. You know, it's something that I was kind of missing throughout the pandemic, because I was working, or I am still working remotely, and I usually worked alone from home. My main target group are digital nomads, but also like maybe expats, startups, entrepreneurs that just need like affordable office space. The price includes everything. You know, you have the office space, you have all the amenities, you have some basics like tea, coffee, water included. The cleaning is included, and it has fast internet. I provide probably the fastest internet in all of Luang Prabang with like 250 megabits.
Wow.
That's fast. Which is, yeah, I haven't found any other place yet here in town with that fast of internet. So, and the feedback of my customers so far is very positive in that sense. I often have programmers there that needs lots of data, you know, for their work, and they were so happy that there is at least one place in town that can offer them what they actually need, you know, plus this new modern work environment.
So now it's falling into low seasons, and hopefully by the beginning of the next high season, people
please come visit us. Yes.
Come to Luang Prabang, check his business out. You have the website, right? So
there is a
we're gonna
website.
attach that on our screen, so you can check him out.
That would be nice. Yeah, you can find me on. Yeah, I have a website, but you can find the business also on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
Nice.
So if you just Google, co-working Luang Prabang, it's me popping up number 1. This is how
no
it is.
one else, just him.
Yeah, because I'm the only one so far.
That's the easy part.
Exactly. Yeah. And you ask about the pricing.
Yeah.
So, so I have 2 different price categories basically. So there in the co-working spaces you always have the hot desks. And you have the private desks.
Oh.
So hot desk is like where you just come in and sit down and work wherever you feel comfortable in that area. And private desk, as it already says, you have your own desk, which is just assigned to you. Nobody touches it. You can leave your stuff if you want to. So, and for the hot desk, we charge per day $6, and for the private desk, $8. So, but then also the longer you stay, let's say for a week, a month, or maybe even a year, so it gets cheaper basically.
Okay.
So you get discount for longer stays. So
lovely, good for you. I'm so glad that you set this up to be the first one in town.
Starting a business is actually not that difficult. You know, there's not so much paperwork to be done, like for instance in my country. You know, so here you can literally basically just start and then figure things out along the way. And in my country, you need to get all the administration paperwork done, like before and no. Well, it helps if you do it here as well, of course. But you know, it's just like it's easier in a sense. I don't know. You can just start and then, you know.
Do you have to apply for a business visa?
I do have a business visa. Yeah, exactly.
So you have business visa first and then start up the business, or how does that work? Just in case that my audiences want to do the same thing as.
Well, with a business visa, it really depends. Like it depends on what you want. If you want to set up your own business, you will need to have your business first. Okay. Also your business license and everything, because your business visa will be assigned to this business.
Oh,
okay. But let's say you come here as an employee, like you sign a contract with a company, then your business visa will be assigned to that company.
And
the company is also responsible to pay for that business visa. So and the business visa also comes with your stay permit. Okay. So, and both is always valid for 1 year. And then after 1 year you have to extend or renew.
Yeah. So for the business that you have now, is it under your name or your partner's name?
Well, yeah, that's another story about businesses in Laos. Yeah. You know, it just what I do is just like when it comes to legal things, I find it challenging here. You asked me about challenges earlier, because it often doesn't seem really clear. You know, you go to a certain administration office, ask for information, not really clear. So what I do, I just get external help. Okay. You know, like legal advisor or someone, and they handle it for me. Oh, okay. So that's why I cannot really go deep into it. Like, I don't know the details. So I just rely on my advisors there and let them handle it. And
so there's some company out there that can take care
exactly.
of it. Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's easy enough. So last question is, what is your advice to those who are thinking of making Luang Prabang their future home? What do you have to tell them?
Well, my advice, first of all, I also often get similar questions, like all the questions that you just asked me. It's a huge difference to be here as a tourist and to if you live here, like everywhere in the world. Yeah. You know, as a tourist, you come here, you see all the nice things, you experience the beautiful sights, go to the waterfall, whatsoever, and it's beautiful. You know, you go to the restaurant, eat the good food, and life is good. But I remember, like after my first year here, I moved into my own first house. There's actually a video on my channel about my first house. So if people want to have a look, you know, just check it out.
So we'll attach Chris' channel name on the screen so you can check him out.
If someone is really considering making Luang Prabang his future home, come here, stay for 3 months. You can stay here as a tourist for up to 3 months, but don't live in a guest house, hotel or something. Find a place in a local neighborhood, which you can do. There are all sorts of Facebook groups where they offer accommodation.
Short-term rent.
Exactly. And so that you get a feel what it's like to have Lao neighbors, to have a feel what it's like to be involved in the local community, and maybe also get involved into something, you know.
See if that suits you or not.
Exactly. Yeah. So that you have the chance to meet people, to learn from the locals, to see if you can actually handle the cultural differences, the mentality differences. Cannot change anything here. Coming here as a foreigner, you cannot change anything. And also, why would you? You know, you have to learn to accept things. But the other thing is, and this is also something that then maybe the locals need to learn from the foreigners. You know, don't just say like, oh, if you don't like it, leave. It's just like, hey, there is someone coming to your country who is interested living here because of whatever reasons it is, you know, but this person maybe lived in a different country for like 20, 30, 40, 50 years. So this person has a complete different background, was raised differently, was socialized differently in a completely different society.
Yeah.
So gives this person also time
Yeah.
to
adjust.
to adjust
learn.
and to learn from the Lao
Yeah.
society,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. It does take some time.
Yeah.
And, do you think that language can be barrier? I mean, do you have any Lao friends in terms of finding the local friends who can speak English? How does that work for you?
Well, it depends with the language, I think. In the cities, it's okay. You get along with English quite well. In the bigger cities like Luang Prabang, Vientiane, that's all right. But as soon you go to the countryside, nobody understands you. Like
You have to use the sign language to get through.
exactly.
Yeah.
You have to do lots of charade to get a noodle soup, or if you want to go sleep somewhere or something. It works as well, but yeah, it helps to learn some of the language.
Yeah.
At least some basics. I'm also still not good with the Lao language, but I get along, you know, like buying food and drinks, go to the markets, you know, like the everyday kind of things. So you can also tell it makes many Lao people happy, you know, if the foreigner actually tries to speak the language, you know,
Yeah.
it's just like also to show some level of appreciation. It's, yeah.
And one more thing that I want to say is that if you live in a local neighborhood, one of the things that you will find it very annoying is the music, right? The sing-along music is that's something that you have to put up with. Unfortunately, as a local person, sometimes I find it very annoying. You know, when they have a community event, it's fine, but just a private gathering, you know, it's loud enough that you can hear it from like a few kilometers away. But that is something that you have to cope with it if you come live in Laos, especially in a local neighborhood. So.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like if you're trying to live here, you know, stay in a local neighborhood, and you will experience exactly these kind of things, and then see how do you cope with it, you know, and
exactly.
if you can cope with it, okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Because these kind of events, they just happen from literally 1 minute to the other.
Yeah.
Nobody gives you a heads up or something, and this is what it is, you know. And it can be annoying, it can be stressful. Maybe you had a rough day or something. You want to rest and you're tired. You worked a lot, whatsoever. And then if the neighbor turns up the karaoke machine with his friends and having a party all night long, it can happen any day.
So well, thanks, Chris, for sharing your experience with us about your life here in Luang Prabang.
You're welcome.
So if you're thinking of making Luang Prabang your future home, this is what you have to consider. So thanks a lot for keeping up with me, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.